Welcome back to the Legacy Podcast. My name is Olisya Grant, co-founder of Matrix Legacy, Inc. We are here for episode number 31, and I've got my husband with me, Mr. Tyler Grant.
Hey there, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. It's crazy. 31 episodes already.
31 episodes.
It's crazy how that goes so fast.
It's amazing. So for those of you who are tuning in again, thank you so much for being here with me. For those of you who are new, welcome, welcome. This is the show where we create a blueprint for success. We look for ways to create generational wealth, and we break those chains of a poverty mindset. So on today's episode, and just in general, one of the main themes you'll notice here that we talk about all the time is how important the people who you surround yourself with, how they're going to impact whether you're able to grow or whether you shrink into the spaces that you're in every day. So long story short, your network is your net worth. And that's really what we want to hop into today. And just beyond that, there's a lot of people, especially given what's going on with this pandemic and all this uncertainty,
all this stuff's going on.
Exactly. Yeah. Even without that, we're just in a position. It's 2020. People are looking for ways to make money in different ways.
Yep.
So what we're looking to do on today's episode is really share with you an industry that has helped us be able to merge those two important things: your net worth being your network, as well as finding different ways to get creative and create financial flexibility in your life. That's what we're looking to share with you today. So just to kick it all off, we want to stick with that idea of understanding what it means when we say your network is your net worth. So there are sometimes when, especially when we start like a new job or a new project, there's a lot of times where you're not actually able to choose your surroundings. There's not a lot of professions where you're able to select and pick your team. So there's some times where you can't actually pick who's available to you in your network, but you're able to kind of navigate through and find the people who resonate with you and who are going to challenge you in the spaces that you're in.
Even with me personally, when I was, let's say, going to different roles within the corporate world, different companies, of course, you naturally want to go to those individuals that you resonate with, that, help you, that want to make you grow and stuff like that. But of course, when we always say the corporate world doesn't always work out that way. And unfortunately, there are pros and cons when it comes to not having to decide who you want to work with.
Exactly. So a lot of times what happens is we end up adjusting to our surroundings, whether that be for the good or for the bad. So that kind of leads us into, how do we find industries? How do we find spaces where you can actually control the environment? And we started thinking about this a few years ago, and that really started within the industry of network marketing. And it's crazy how there's some people who are going to have a perception about this, about network marketing. A lot of it just comes from somebody else's opinion, or from maybe you just don't understand it, because we were in a position where we didn't understand it. But the root of that industry of network marketing, it's all about your network.
Exactly.
And the beautiful part about it is you actually get to pick and choose and select who it is that you get to work with, who it is that you're surrounding yourself with. And so we want to kind of do a deep dive into what that industry is for those of you who are familiar, for those of you who aren't familiar, and for those who are just looking for more information on how can I create income in this uncertain time. Network marketing is definitely an industry for that.
Absolutely. So for people just give a basic understanding of what network marketing is, it's pretty much where you are marketing a service to the people that you know, which is, in hindsight, your network. So now if you think about networking in general, we're communicating, we're trying to meet new people, trying to, look at our current situation. And of course, that's great. However, now when it comes to not even just in network marketing, but in really any industry in general where you have to be self-employed or work for yourself, you have to be continuously growing. You have to continuously understand where you want to get to, whether within our industry or any others. That's the main thing you have to understand.
Absolutely. And I know one of the main misconceptions, and this is kind of what we had coming in the first place, is I don't want to pay to work. That doesn't make sense. I shouldn't have to pay to work, right? And one of our mentors taught us that there's a big difference, and you got to be able to switch your employee hat to your employer hat if you're really going to want to try to build something for yourself. Not everybody is going to want to be an entrepreneur or be a business owner, whatever that looks like. But if you do decide that that's something that you want to take on, it's important to understand, if you want to start any business, let's say I went on the Government of Canada website, and just to take a look at what the startup cost for a basic pizza store, for example. If you just wanted to launch a very basic pizza shop, what would that look like? So the startup cost would be about $20,000, and then monthly you're paying about $10,000. So that's including payroll, that's including your supplies, marketing, insurance, accounting,
Yeah.
all of these things that you have to pay for every single month. And so when you walk in or you apply for a job, you might be in a job right now, somebody paid to start that business.
Yep.
And it wasn't them paying to play or paying to get started. What it was an investment in a business that they were able to grow and then hire people like yourself or myself, whoever it is, to then carry forward their mission, their vision for that business even farther.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to looking at the industry of network marketing, it's not first of all, if you caught that, I said the very minimum that it would cost to start up a business is about $20,000. In network marketing, you can get started in a business for like $500 or less.
$500, honestly, and that's where you get all the support you need, all the mentorship, all the back office work, the admin work that you don't have to do. A lot of these companies allow you to have access to that, so that way now you can just focus on personally growing yourself. You can focus on other things that you don't want to worry about, rather than in a traditional business you have to worry about all those expenses, all that whole overhead. Plus you also have to make sure that you can get those clientele, which is of course a lot. And let's just say, for example, if the industry isn't for you specifically, those traits, those books you read, the growth that you go within the industry, you can take that toward your any traditional business, and then you'll be able to flourish because the foundation has already been set.
Exactly. So you literally get to go and make mistakes and understand what it takes to run a business on somebody else's back, basically. Somebody has already set up the system for you, but what you have to do is you have to go in there and grow into a person that's able to find success. So the way that network marketing works, you're essentially purchasing a franchise. Think about a McDonald's, for example. You purchase the rights to run a McDonald's franchise. The system is already set up for you, but it's your responsibility to create the culture, to create the atmosphere, and make sure that you have a smooth running business day to day. So every McDonald's, even though you're getting the same product, the vibe is going to be a little bit different because the ownership is different. And so that's the same thing in network marketing. The only thing that happens, and I think this is the main reason why the industry gets a bad name, is there's such a low barrier to entry, little to no barrier to entry. As we said before, $500 or less can get you, is literally nothing.
Like my suit alone is worth more than $500. A lot of the J's I used to purchase, my collection a little more worth more than $500. And it's like, with that so little barrier to entry, there's always the pros and cons. So of course the pro is that you get all this access to information, the resources, all of that for such little cost. Of course, now the downside to that is that because there's such low barrier to entry, not anybody can get into it. So the people, let's say, that are amateurs or that don't want to get in, don't want to be like truly self-developing, you'll unfortunately get those individuals, which then of course leave a bad name to the industry.
That's true, because people are going to come in as amateurs and they're going to conduct business as such. It's up to you really to decide to become a professional and run a professional business, and that's how you find success. And so some people who come in with the amateur or the employee mentality and they try to run their business that way, they run into issues, they start burning bridges, and they do everything in such a way that causes them to believe that it's the industry that didn't work, when really they just didn't take the time to grow into the person that they needed to make the business work. So if you are vetting or you see a network marketing company that you might be interested in, it's really important that you go and speak to people who have already found success in the industry to really understand what it's going to take. I'm not going to speak to somebody who's never made it into the NBA and try to ask them what it's going to take to be a successful NBA player, or WNBA player in my case, if that's what I want to do. I'm going to want to go and try to speak to somebody who's involved, who's done all the work, gone through all of the trials and tribulations to know what it's going to take to create success. I don't want to learn how to lose. I want to learn how to win. So you got to make sure that you're speaking to the people who have found success.
Exactly. And for a lot of people that like to do their research, it's great to do research, but understand as well as that, and this is just true to everything, negative information travels a lot further than positive information. And let's be honest here, if something's going great, we're not going to be so quick to leave a review or things like that. Why? Because, have great service, that's what we expect, and then we call it a day. It's natural. I've done it, I know you've done it, it's natural. However, now if you have a bad experience, now everybody's going to want to hear about it, and we now actively make sure that no one else goes through that experience, which means now that is all that you're going to see. So now just be honest and understand where you get both sides of the coin, so that way you get a true transparent, advice or information, so that way now you can actually make an informed decision for what you believe.
Absolutely. So another thing that we often hear in the business is, it's only the people at the top that make the most money. And that's why people are not interested in really exploring this incredible industry. And just a little tidbit, just a little fact check. Network marketing has created more documented multimillionaires than almost every industry you could think of, right up there next to real estate. We're probably second, right next to real estate. And so the thing is, people have the perception of, only the people at the top make the most money. And the thing is, if you look at any industry, if you look in a traditional job, if you look at the government, if you look at athletes, musicians, real estate, anything, it's like the top 3% that are making the most money. But the problem with those other industries is there's a lot of gatekeepers on your way to making it up to that 3%. You've got to find your way in with the right people and really, really push the limits, really create new innovations and things of that nature in order for you to get up to that 3%. In network marketing, the only barrier, the only thing that's going to stop you from reaching that top 3% of money earners is yourself. That's literally it. Nobody can close the doors on you. Nobody can say, you can't go any further. The only thing that could stop you is you deciding that you're done growing, that you're done trying to serve and help other people in order to be able to climb that ladder and become that 3%. The only barrier in your place is you. And so that's one of the main things that attracted me to the industry of network marketing, is because I really love the ability to get compensated for my results, to get compensated for my growth and my value, and not just my time. Because I'm okay with putting in all the time that it takes to build something that eventually can work on autopilot. Residual income is definitely another one of those big pulls that drew us towards the industry of network marketing.
Yeah, and also a big thing is ownership. A lot of people don't understand it, especially when it comes to owning anything or giving your time to, whether it be a job, whether it be a business, things like that. That certain things can't actually be handed down, and that, let's say you work 30, 40, or 50 years on a project or on something. Next thing you know, as soon as you're done, it's gone with you. You can't chase that down. Rather than certain industries like network marketing, real estate, things like that, you're able to pass that along because it is yours. You bought the franchise. You bought the right to have it, which means it is yours.
Exactly. And again, just circling back to our first main point of the fact that your network is your net worth. The people who you surround yourself with in this business, in whichever business you decide to go for, my advice is to find a team or an organization that is all about personal growth, is all about servitude, is all about really becoming the best version of yourself. Because again, since there are such low barriers to entry, you're going to find people who are really just going to be salesy, and they're just going to push the product, they're just going to push the service, because that's all they care about. They just care about making the sale and making a quick dollar. But the majority of the industry is really focused on, how many people could I serve? How many people can I educate and show that there's another way to make money in this life? How many people can I impact so that they can get the time and the financial freedom that we've had access to? So it's really important that you research and you understand the values of the people who you're surrounding yourself with, because again, who is in your network is going to determine what your net worth is. Those people are going to be able to open up opportunities for you. Those people are going to push you to limits that you've never even knew you were capable of reaching. And the greatest part about this industry is you get to decide. Yep. If you don't want to work with somebody, no problem. You don't have to do that. Go ahead and build a new team, find a new mentor, start a new whatever it looks like. But you are in a space where you're able to make mistakes. You're able to grow without judgment. You're able to decide who you're working with. And that is really one of the reasons and one of the starts. It's kind of the foundation of what we were able to build everything that we're doing within the Matrix Legacy on, was the industry of network marketing. Because we first had to grow, we first had to develop that employer mentality, so that we can go off and create other businesses of our own off of a system that was already created and built for success. What? So the building block of the day, essentially, and this is going right back to the beginning, your net worth is all about your network. And the best way to build those things yourself from a personal development standpoint, your own network, your finances, everything around that is within the network marketing industry, in our opinion anyways, from our experience. So just take the time to make sure that you're getting the right information from the right places, so that you're able to make good decisions as you build your own legacy, as you go on your own journey.
So then, guys, if you had any questions, had any comment, let's say, because let's be honest here, the internet has a lot of information. There's a lot of people that are saying this or saying that. Of course, we can only give what we personally have experienced. However, now, if you guys want to learn more, or let's say, you want to get more information, definitely reach out to us. Of course, you know where to contact my wife and, of course, myself within all of our platforms. Of course, download the Matrix Legacy app as well. It's a great way to get in contact with us.
That is all we've got for the day, guys. I truly hope you did enjoy this episode. I hope that it was informative. If you did enjoy this episode, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, send this to a friend. That all helps more people receive the same message. I will be here next week with another building block for success. Until next time, let's build a legacy.
Until next time, guys.